everyone, my name is Marissa Garcia. I am currently a student at ASU, and this video is for my gender and society class, and I'm going to be reteaching to you guys some topics that I learned about in this class. So I am going to be teaching you guys like the difference between sex and gender, and then most of the video is going to be about some reasons why people do gender and just the whole world around gender. It's a lot. So the first thing that I want to establish are some definitions of sex and gender, and these definitions are from the book Gender by Lisa Wade and Mira Ferre. So they define sex as physical differences in primary and secondary sexual characteristics, such as like reproductive organs and then different things such as like hair growth. And then on the other hand, gender is the symbolism of masculinity and femininity that we connect to bodies assigned male and female at birth. So sex is kind of something that you're born with. Gender is more of a socially constructed idea that, like in society, we kind of build up what we think gender is. So before we get into our other topics today, I do want to say that doing gender is basically how you go out and you put yourself out there as like either feminine, masculine, like however you want to do it, like how people present themselves. So that's basically what doing gender is, and that's going to help you understand more topics in this video. The first topic I want to go into is Lisa Wade and Mira Ferre's 3 reasons that people do gender, and that is going to lead me into my interviews that I did, which you guys can watch now. Who am I here with today? Renee Garcia. Okay, so we're looking at your little sit right now. Would you say that you sit like this often, with your legs crossed? Yes. Why do you think that is? This is naturally how I sit, and I think when I was younger, this is kind of how they taught you how to sit and be like a lady. So I just naturally do it now, all the time. Perfect. Thank you. Who am I here with today? Alex Garcia. Okay, so my question for you is, would you say that when you are in the confines of your home that you would openly fart and feel comfortable doing it? Yes. Okay, and then say you're on a date with a member of the preferred sex, would you openly fart in front of them? No. Okay, and why do you think that is? Because I don't know them well and I wouldn't feel comfortable enough, and it's not very ladylike. Okay, thank you.
I love going to the gym because, gets me stronger. I get a good pump every time. I like the pump because, can make you look good, feel better about yourself, just boost your self-confidence, and you notice progress, and it just keeps you motivated to keep going.
Okay, so those are some super fun interviews that I got to do. So now I'm going to tell you guys 3 reasons that Lisa Wade and Mira Ferre say that why people follow gender rules. So the most important thing that I want to say is the one gender rule, according to Wade and Ferre, is that, you have to do gender one way or another. So if you don't, it's going to really confuse people, and it's going to be hard for them to know how to interact with you. So it's really important, and everybody does gender in their own ways already, so yeah. All right, and then, so for the first reason why we follow gender rules is out of habit. So as we saw in Renee's interview, she would cross her legs, like just sitting. That's my mom. She does it literally everywhere. And she said that it's because that's how she was taught to sit like a woman and everything. So at this point, that's what she knows as, being feminine. And I do want to say that, we all also, start off doing, gender things out of habit, without even really, thinking about it, because it's so normal to us. For example, how when we grew up, we, know what kind of clothes to wear. Now, when you go out to buy your own clothes, you know what kind of clothes to get based off of your gender. Yeah, so that's for the first reason. On to the second reason. So this one is doing gender for pleasure. And as we saw in Luke's interview, he really likes going to the gym. It makes him feel really strong, really good about himself. And this is really important, when people do gender, because they like to feel rewarded. All humans love to feel rewarded. So when you do gender well, then it feels good. Such as me. My personal experience, I love going out and dressing up nice, in dresses, just nice outfits, Okay, and then the last reason for following gender rules that Wade and Ferre listed is because you're in observation. So as we saw in Alex's interview, which is more of a funny one, she said that she would not fart in front of a guy, which is the member of her preferred sex. And that's just because you're under observation. You wouldn't she wouldn't go out and just fart in front of anybody because she feels uncomfortable doing that, which a lot of people do, but there are some people who do feel comfortable with it, and you know what, nothing wrong with it, everybody's opinions. And so, yeah, but she would do that in the comfort of her home, so it's really just when she goes out in public, she's like more resorting to her feminine gender, and she's trying to be more like respectful to the people around her. Oh, I also want to say, Wade and Ferry did a study on this, actually. So one quote from the book on page 80, it says, "A study of women eating in restaurants found that women dining with male companions took smaller bites and ate more slowly than women dining with other women." Which I totally agree with this. If I am not comfortable with, like, a person, specifically males, like, I am taking the slowest bites, I'm wiping my face all the time, I'm trying to make sure I'm not embarrassing myself. But if I'm comfortable with you, I don't care. I will be such a sloppy eater and everything, like, but we all kind of do it, like, really subconsciously, some people more than others, and that's why gender is just, like, such a big, like, I don't even know how to explain it, such a big scale, I guess, because, like, some people will do it one way, other people will do it another way. Like, some girls might not care, but I do. And, okay, the next topic is going to be change of gender in relationships. So, this article called Doing Gender, Doing Heteronormativity, it states that, like, while you are in sexual situations, you start to do gender more. So, meaning you may go out and you may, like, feel comfortable doing the non-binary, but once you do get into a sexual situation, you are going to resort back to your biological thing. I think it's, like, something with, like, arousal, like, I'm going to guess. But, and then, what did they said, the importance of doing gender in a way that represents the shape of one's genitals is heightened in sexual and sexualized situations. So, such as, like, maybe if a guy acted more feminine out in public, but then, like, he actually started acting masculine in the, like, in a sexual situation, because, like, that's what he knows to do with his like, biological body. So they say, so responses to perceived failures to fulfill gender criteria in sexual and sexualized relationships are themselves gendered. So this is a lot to take in, but basically what it's saying is that when a man and a woman are in a relationship, or just, like, any hetero or homo relationship, a man is going to look for specific things in, like, their partner, versus a woman is going to look for different things. Another thing I wanted to talk about is doing gender, like, for women in the workplace. So I found this really interesting. It's an article, it is called Experiences of Women Elite Leaders Doing Gender. So this is really interesting. I'm going to, like, sum up the study that they did in this. So basically they were studying women elite leaders' experiences in the UK, and they found that, like, women were more successful doing gender well, like, but at the same time, like, they had to face, like, gender competition. And well, in this case, these women are doing gender because organizational contexts are gendered. So, like, a lot of organizations want to see this in women, want to see this in men, and yeah, it's just, like, a whole mix of things. Like, a summary of it is also just that, in this case, the women have to navigate expectations of doing gender well while facing competition and misogyny. So it's, like, really, like, a hard thing. Like, the gender binary is a really hard thing to kind of, like, match, and this is why, like, I think a lot of people are trying to get people to stray away from it, because we can't really control how we feel about our own gender. Okay, so one last topic that I want to touch on is the fact that human beings, like, sometimes we will find that matching the binary is going to be more advantageous in certain situations, while, like, some other times you're free to be who you are. So there is a article called Doing Gender Beyond the Binary, and I want to talk about an analysis that they did on non-binary people. So they looked at a whole, like, content analysis of selfies, and they found, like, a ton of different symbolic mechanisms of these non-binary people, of how they do, redo, and undo gender. So this means that in different selfies, they could see them doing gender, like, the way that they want. They saw them undoing gender. So basically meaning that depending on the situation, they were acting different. Like, they chose, like, to like, heighten, like, how much they're doing gender, or lower. And yeah, so that's definitely interesting. Okay, to end off this video, I have two questions for my audience. How do you think that you express your gender efficiently? And also, is it different when you're outside versus at home? And that's it.